a big earthquake happens in the country, and because of it hurricanes occur, so the rescue team is forced to face all this in order to save their family. Our movie starts with a girl named Natalie, and she drives her car and enjoys the weather, but she is a little busy on the phone, and this makes her not take care of the road, and suddenly a crack appears in the road. So Natalie's car falls in it, but lucky for her is that the car has been hanging on a high underground mountain, and this makes her reassured a little, and she tries to ask anyone for help, but if she moves only one movement, the car will fall and explode. But in the end, she can call help. At the same time, we see a helicopter flying near the place, and in which there is a rescue team at the highest level, and the team leader named Ray. And he has a journalist with him who works with him for an interview about the cases that he saves all the times. And it shows that the journalist likes Ray because he was able to save 600 people at once in one of his operations. Later, the news of Natalie reaches Ray's team, so they decide to go to save her. Then the journalist can see their work naturally. Later, Ray gets to Natalie's place and his friend gets down with a rope to save her and give him instructions because the situation is dangerous. So his colleagues goes down to tie the rope in Natalie's car to control it, and then he tries to get Natalie out. But the situation starts to be hard for him because the car is moving, so Ray decides to go down to help him and save him and Natalie, especially because when the car moved, it fell on the hands of his friend. Then Ray makes the plan of the automatic flight mode, and he goes down to save Natalie at first, and at the last moment he saves his friend, and then the car falls and explodes, and this also a successful operation for Ray. At the same time, especially at the Clutch Institute in California, there we see a seismologist explaining of his students about the devastating earthquakes, and he said that the biggest earthquake in the world was in Japan in the 90s, and the biggest earthquake that happened in America was in the year 64 in Alaska, and because of it, many people died and floods took place. And also he said that an earthquake is expected in the near term in America, but he doesn't know what its power will be or when its time will be, but he's waiting for an earthquake very soon. Then we find Ray arrived to his place and he delivers his plan to his friend because of the malfunctions in it needs fixing, because lately it has been down a lot and maybe while they are in the rescue operation and they will die. And after he delivers it, he walks with his friend, and we know from his words that he is going to visit his daughter Blake because they will go out together for a flying match, and he doesn't see her so much since the day his wife separated from him and took her with her. But he doesn't believe that his daughter grew up quickly and became in college, and because of his away from her all the time, he waits for the chance to meet her at Clutch Institute, and we see Kim earthquake again, and he is the only Lawrence's friend and his best friend. Then Kim enters to tell Lawrence that they recorded a light earthquake near here at the dam. So Lawrence is happy because his theory is starting to come true, and he was waiting for it to happen for a long time ago, and he offers him to go to the area where the earthquake happened and record the repercussions and intensity one by one. And of course, Kim is happy and agrees, so they move all their stuff to Nevada. On the other side, Ray got home and he talks to his daughter Blake on phone, and she asks him to bring her the key to her wheel because it lost for a while and she can't find it. So Ray takes advantage of the opportunity and tells her that he will look for it and invites her to dinner with him, and he invites her mother Emma too. So Blake tells her that they will not be able to go out with him tonight because they are gone out and having dinner with Daniel. So Ray is surprised that there is another man in their life of his ex-wife, and she tells her that her mother will be engaged to him soon and she must listen to her words. Ray gets sad and closes the line and starts looking for the key of the wheel, so he sees a picture of his family when they were together and happy, and here we discover that he had another daughter, and one day he took her with him to row in the sea, but an accident happened and she died. Because of that, the separation happened because Emma wasn't reassured about her daughters with him. Later, Lawrence and Kim arrive in Nevada and go to a big water dam to measure the degree of the earthquake, but they discover that the degree of the earthquake starts to be stronger than the first, and suddenly the earthquake pulses started to increase suddenly, and the scale scores 7 marks. So Lawrence asks Kim to quickly collect the equipment and get out of there. So Kim goes up to them quickly, but while he walks, he sees a little girl who can't walk out of fear. So he decides to save her and take her with him, but unfortunately the dam starts to be destroyed gradually, and Kim, when he doesn't find a chance to survive his life, he throws the girl with a great force to other side. So she lives, but he falls in the crack and dies. Lawrence is shocked when he sees his only friend dead in front of his eyes, and large part of Nevada is being destroyed. At the same time, Ray arrives at Blake's house and he takes her bicycle with him, but he finds a message on the phone asking him to go quickly because he has a rescue cases. So he meets Blake first and apologizes for her that he will not be able to stay with her, and tells her that he will make up for it again. And he enters to get to know Daniel, and among their words, Ray knows that they will move to another house, so he's shocked because he did not know. So Emma knows that she was intending to say it, but a surprise. So Ray gets annoyed and leaves. Later Daniel travels with Blake on the plane, and he tries to get close to her as her mother's husband, and that he wants to prove to her that he's better than her father, and tells her that he knows that she has personal problems and he wants to interfere in them, but he will always be with her if she needs anything. So she's happy with his words and starts to be reassured about him. Then when they get to the airport, he takes her with him to work and let her wait for him in the reception until she gets back to her. So she reads in a magazine until she comes back, and that's where she meets Ben, who is very nervous because he is coming to interview and afraid that they will reject him. So she talks to him and tries to calm him down, and Ollie, his brother, comes and sits with them, and Ollie is just a kid, but he looks like an old man because he knows that his brother is embarrassed and wants to be able to recognize Blake. So he asks her for her number so that his brother can call her. So Blake laughs and admires his personality. Then Ben leaves them sitting together and goes to the interview, and after he leaves, Blake talks to Ollie, so she knows that they are from England and that Ben is a sensitive person and also embarrassed of girls, so she likes him and writes her number on Ollie's book. As for Lawrence, he returns to the office and is deeply impressed after the death of his friend, and he has a journalist who wants to interview him, so Lawrence agrees. And while they are talking, two from the office enter and they ask to talk to Lawrence urgently, so Lawrence goes with them, and he discovered that there are poles higher than the poles of the last earthquake in Nevada, but this time in California. So Lawrence gets nervous and he starts studying information about earthquake activity from California to Nevada. So he discovered that the earthquake will circle the whole country and it will destroy many places, and they must take precautions. At the same time, Emma is with Susan in the restaurant, but Susan was a little rude because she starts talking to Emma about her daughter who died drowning, and Emma can't reply to her, and she finds Ray calls her so that she gets up. When she replies, he apologizes to her for his way with her yesterday and that he was fanatic and annoyed with her. But while they are talking, Emma sees the tables shake strongly, and this is the beginning of the earthquake. So Emma asks Ray to come and save her quickly, and he tells her that he will come to her immediately, but she must go on the roof of the building, and he asks her to take with her as many people as possible to save them, and he moves immediately to her. But at an institute, the earthquake reached a very big degree, and Lawrence tries to hide from it, but the earthquake walks in a certain way, and after a while it will arrive in San Francisco. Later, Blake finds Daniel finished his work, so they go down to garage to take the car. But once an earthquake reaches the city and the car moves from its place, so there locks on Blake's leg. So Daniel tries to help her, but he couldn't, so he tells her that he will come out to ask for help and return to her immediately. And when he comes out, he finds all the people running in every direction, so no one agrees to go with him. So he decides to survive his life and leave Blake. But Ben hears him calling for rescue, and when he saw Daniel running away, he decided to go and save her and took with him Ollie. When he enters the garage, he finds the roof had fallen on the car and he will not be able to open the door, so he tries again, but but he brought the car cork and raised the rock with it, but still she can't get out. So he ventilated the tire of the car, and so she was able to get out of the car. Later, Emma reaches the roof and Ray arrives to her, but he can't get close to her because there is a fire next to her. So he turns on the autopilot and throws a rope to pull her with, and she grabs it quickly and he can't save her and run away from the place. And when they call Blake, she tells them that she's locked up in the garage. So he asks her to get on high roof and he will save her, and he thinks in the highest area of the city and he asks her to go there. So Blake takes Ben and Ollie and heads to the tower, and he discovered that the whole city collapsed. So Lawrence followed the earthquake and he finds his intensity nevertheless, and also the earthquake will reach many places in the country. So he asks someone to hack the TV broadcast to warn the people, and Blake looks for any landline phone to call her father, until in the end they find someone. So he is assured that she got out of the building already, and he asks her to go now to the tower. So she runs fast looking for the tower, but the whole road full of people, and also there are a lot of fires, and the tower is destroyed. She can't go there. As for Ray, he talks to Emma about their memories together before their daughter dies and how happy they were. Then the plane fan keeps going around for nothing, and that's it. They will fall from the air. So Ray decides to make an emergency landing anywhere until he enters a building. And when they try to get out, they find many armed thieves in it. So he hides from them and looks for any car they ride to go to their daughter. But not a single car is open. There is only one car that belongs to the thieves, so he goes to steal it and runs away quickly. When they are on the road, they find people warning them to continue, so Ray stops quickly and goes down to ask them, so he knows that there is a big crack in the road. So he asks about the nearest way to them. Someone says he has to go back 70 miles to get to the main road, but there is no time for all this and he must follow his daughter. So he takes care of the hat above the man's head, written on it the name of the airport, and he asks him about him. So he finds him close. He goes to him immediately with Emma to take a plane from there. Later, Lawrence is live on TV and starts to warn people that the earthquake aren't over yet and that there is a bigger earthquake that will hit the country, and it's going to happen in San Francisco. As for Ray, he arrives at the airport and he talks to Emma about what happened to their daughter, and that since the day she died he has a great remorse, but she tells that she broke up with him because he was silent all the time, and she tells him that what happened was fate and he had nothing to do, and if he tried only once with her they would have been together by now. Then Ray reaches the city, but there is not a signal ready strip to go down in, and also the gasoline is almost finished, so he decides to jump in a football field and save themselves. And at the same time, the earthquake that Lawrence predicted arrives and starts destroying the building he's in. As for Blake and Ben, when they are walking, the earthquake reaches them and it's very big. On the other hand, Ray tries to reach his daughter in any way, and he doesn't find anything but a small boat in front of him, so he decided to take it. Later, Ben gets hit in his leg and can't walk, so Blake tries to help him and they continue the road. When Ray and Emma reach the tower, they find it burning, so he knows that his daughter is still alive because she is smart and sure she escaped to another place, but they still don't know where it. And in the middle of the sea, once Ray finds the water starting to withdraw into the sea, so he knows that a tsunami will happen, and at the time he walks with the direction of the water, and at the last moment he was able to save them. At this time the flood is very big and drowns anything that comes in his way. Another thing is that fall a big rock comes to Daniel, so he dies. They look for any tall building because she knows that her father will not see her while she is on the ground. Also, Ray thinks that Blake will enter any high place, so he looks at the tall building that are still intact around them. But when Blake and Ben enter the building starts to collapse. But Blake takes care of her father and mother while they are in the boat, so she keeps screaming and hitting the glass, but they don't near her. But only he takes out a laser from him and points it toward them. So Emma notices him and tells Ray. So Ray quickly goes to save Blake, but the place was drowning and Blake is imprisoned and Ben couldn't save her. And at the last moment, Ray arrives and gets her out of the water. And when they come out to run away, they don't know how to break the glass. So Emma signs to them to stay away from the place, and she runs fast and break it. And she saves them and they run away at the last moment. But Ray thinks that Blake died because of the water too, and he keeps trying with her and making her artificial respiration until she wakes up and it turned out that she was unconscious. After a while, Ben finds a chain in the suitcase in the boot, so he gives it as a gift to Blake and she accepted it. All this is in the middle of the destruction of the whole city, and we still don't know if another earthquake will happen or not. And that's our movie today ends. You love action, suspense, mystery, we have it. Also exists in the comment menu. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and that's it. Bye bye.